Hello, everyone. My name is Ragan Pattison, and I'm with Wight Company. Today, I am honored to have the Will County Chief Judge, Rick Schoenstedt, with me today to talk about what's been going on during this pandemic, how he's been operating the courthouse, and how he's looking forward into moving into the new courthouse, and how that design and operation is going to not only help during a situation, but just help with different improve efficiency and operations in his courthouse. Good morning.
Good morning, Reagan. Nice to see you, even on Zoom. It's nice to see you.
I assume the courthouse has been deemed an essential service, and you are still operating, correct?
Yes, we are. It's very important, and obviously we pay close attention to the governor's orders, but we're also a third independent branch of government, and we take a lot of direction from the Illinois Supreme Court as well. And they have entered an order a little over 2 months ago now that gave us direction as to what we could or couldn't do. And essentially, emergency matters only are being done in the courthouses around the state of Illinois. So I have courtrooms open in all divisions, one in each division: family, civil, misdemeanor, felony, and juvenile. Plus orders of protection. Those courtrooms are open for emergency purposes, but all the other courtrooms and all the other services are basically shut down and have been for the last couple of months.
So in those emergency situations, if there needs to be a hearing and the judge, the attorneys, the litigants, and I would assume some of your staff would have to be at the courthouse, how are you able to practice social distancing?
We've been rotating in our employees in all our divisions and all my departments, including judges, where they come in on a weekly basis to handle these matters. We are only, as I said, we only have about 1/4 of our courtrooms open, so it leaves a lot of space that we otherwise would not have for social distancing. The governor pretty much said you can social distance or wear masks. In this courthouse, we require both at all times, because you can't fully social distance everywhere in the courthouse. It just isn't practical. The metal detectors, for instance, on the first floor, the elevators, for instance, there's just too many people that would come in here, even though we have reduced services significantly. So we practice that as much as we can. We have maintenance has done a great job with us, going through all the courtrooms and marking them, marking chairs, marking floors, so people know exactly where they can sit or stand and be at least 6 feet from everybody else, so that when we do have emergency matters, or when we do reopen where we don't have to do just emergency matters anymore, that we'll be in a position to have a judge and a clerk and a court reporter, lawyers, witnesses, and spectators in the courtroom. Not as many, but everybody will be socially distanced.
Have you been able to use technology like Zoom or anything to continue some of the operations?
Well, in that regard, Reagan, I would love to have a word with this bug someday, because if it would have waited at least 7 or 8 months, I would have been in the new courthouse. I know we're going to talk a little bit about that, where we have a lot of wiring and a lot of things done over there, where we will be able to do video platforms like Zoom or WebEx. It's not so great here in this courthouse, although the presiding judges and the employees have done a great job in helping us move forward very quickly. Over the last 2 months, we've planned a great deal to do remote hearings, both contested and not contested, prove-ups in divorce cases, agreements in civil cases. That will help resolve files without people having to come into the courthouse. So we've already got that planned. In fact, I signed a couple of administrative orders yesterday that helped the video platforms work for these individual divisions. Word has now gotten out to the bar associations, and we're going to move a lot to video. And quite frankly, Reagan, we should use this as an opportunity to plan for what we're going to be doing in the new courthouse, and we are, so that we can do more of these things remotely on these video platforms. So this is sort of a dry run for us, but it's important because we do need to resolve some of these cases that otherwise would just sit there and would create just a huge backlog at the end of this thing.
Well, that's got to be exciting, thinking about moving into the new courthouse, which should be happening at the end of this year, right?
Yes, the word I keep getting is that substantial completion is still set for the same date. And then once we get past that and we get everything tested and we get the permits and we get the okay to move in, sometime I would hope between mid-fall and early winter, we'll be able to move in this year. And it is exciting. In fact, I can look over the computer right now and look right at the site, and they're going full blast, and it's looking really, really good.
So talking about the new courthouse, I mean, just from the point of entry, then going into the courtrooms, talking about space, how much more space are you going to have in this new courthouse compared to the one that you're in right now?
I don't know the exact math, but I'm pretty comfortable in telling you that I think that the new courthouse will provide us about 200,000 square feet more of space. And starting from the first floor in the lobby area, also the first floor of the jury assembly room and the clerk's office, we're going to just have tremendous amount of room that we'll be able to, if we still need the social distance at that point and plan for the future for perhaps social distancing, it will be so much easier to do in the new courthouse than it is in this one. So moving all the way up into the court tower itself, we have more elevators, we have more ways to move people around, not only with more elevators, but with escalators. Each floor won't need quite as many people than this courthouse has, because this courthouse has at least 8 courtrooms on the 4th floor and more than that on the 3rd floor. And the court tower in the new courthouse will have between 3 and 5 courtrooms per floor, with a lot more conference rooms, so people can go into those conference rooms and not only get business done, but be safe as well.
That's great. And then we're talking about the technology. How is the technology in this new courthouse going to help you with the audio? There's more audio and visual in each courtroom, correct?
Yes, they're all wired. We weren't going to put that much equipment into all of the courtrooms before all of this happened, but we knew enough, and Wight Company knew enough to plan for it. So now that COVID-19 is on us, we realize that we do want more, not only the technology wired, but we want the equipment. We want to move into that building ready to go with a lot more technology. So we're working on that right now, but it's been made very easy because of the way the courthouse was built. We're able to simply figure out where we want the equipment and get it in there, both chambers and courtrooms. So we're excited very much about taking this opportunity to learn it. Like I said, all the presiding judges and their judges in their divisions have all been doing multiple video meetings, webinars, conferences on how to get this done, and we're up and running. And we can't wait to get over to the new courthouse, where it will be a much better situation for all of us from a space standpoint, security standpoint, and so forth. Access
to justice is a very high priority of yours and the Illinois Supreme Court.
It's very difficult for self-represented litigants and maybe some lawyers who are coming from out of town, witnesses and litigants that just don't know the courthouse or don't know Joliet that well. We'll be able to come in to the first floor. We will have an information desk down there where there'll be an access to justice employee or volunteer. They'll be able to provide information such as what floor, what courtroom to go to, or where else, what other offices are going to be over there, including some offices for state's attorney, public defender, probation, and so forth. It'll be very nice for these people to come in, talk to that person, and be guided to a floor. Each floor, all the way from 1 to 10, will have monitors throughout the hallways. So you'll be able to look up and see a case, your name, case number, what courtroom you belong in. So all of that will be very important moving over for these people to move around the courthouse and get to where they need to go.
What are some features in this courthouse that you're excited about that's going to make this new courthouse a much healthier place for you, the employees, and the residents of Will County?
Yes, Ragan, one of the reasons why I'm very excited to get over there as quickly as I can. to the difference between the ability to keep these buildings clean and disinfected, not only from this virus, but from anything moving forward. Big difference between this courthouse and where we're going. The new courthouse has been designed with a lot of this in mind. For instance, a lot of the bathrooms, all the bathrooms will have touchless touchless doors, some touchless soap dispensers, water, and the faucets. They're all going to be able to be used in a way that people won't have to feel that they might be in contact with somebody else's touching before them. There's going to be kiosks that will be able to be kept clean on a daily and nightly basis at the clerk's office. They're going to have glass shields or screens up at their teller windows, which will help them a great deal and the public. I believe much of the furniture and the cloth that's going to be used throughout the building will be of a sanitized grade surface, so that they'll be easier to keep clean and disinfected by our maintenance crews at night and during the day. So there's a lot going on over there. That the newest technology is being used to help us keep that building and the people in it safe, not only the public, but also the employees as well.
There's some green space that we have going on over there too, correct? Not just the entryway, but we also have a green roof, right? And some solar?
There'll be two of them, actually. Above the lobby is a very large area where they have already put dirt, where they will plant grass sometime later this year. And it will be beautiful, be green space. And then that's above the lobby, which is basically on top of the second floor in the agency wing. And then on top of the agency wing itself, which is a 4-story facility that's attached to the 10th-story tower, you have another green space, which will be beautiful also. We'll have natural grass grown. And the nice thing about that is that was designed by Wight Company, so that was immediately adjacent to the cafeteria, where there'll be a way to go out and sit at tables in the outside during the months of the year where that will be available, with people able to enjoy the green space as well. So there'll be two very large green spaces on those two areas of the courthouse.
And I think in a building like this, where unfortunately there's a lot of stress, whether you're dealing with a family situation or a criminal situation, you have family members and support people coming there. This will be a good space for some of those people, including your employees that have to deal with these situations on a day-to-day basis. It'll be a nice place for them to get away.
Absolutely, Ragan. The court is designed and needs to be designed to be a formal structure where people know that what they're doing is going to be important. But on the other hand, we're not trying to intimidate or scare anybody either. And I think Wight Company has done a great job in designing those areas, including the cafeteria and those green spaces, such that they will be able to relax and maybe lower their blood pressure a little bit if need be, and maybe get something to eat and talk to their loved ones while they're here. So that's all very, very important. A lot of that space is designed, that extra space is designed for those purposes. Very, very important.
I can't thank you enough for doing this Zoom interview with me. I'd love to follow up with one in person in the new courthouse, hopefully the end of the summer or this fall.
I cannot wait, Ragan. Can't wait for that.